how critical is it that a person who is going for an M&A should actually hire a consultant or somebody who can help them with the due diligence and then take this forward?
Yeah, that's a very important point, actually, because hire a consultant too early and you're just going to be paying lots. And in my experience, I tend to shy away from those ones because they just keep moving to the right and the client is happy, they think, until it gets to a point where they're not happy. My suggestion would be that you hire the advice you need as you need it, or just ahead of when you need it, and then terminate when you no longer need it. So don't go and hire a CFO, a fractional CFO, for the entire due diligence. Assemble the data points that you need, make sure that it's complete, and then have an expert run the rule over it. Have your operations person or your lawyer engaged at the point where there's reason to invest the money or the fees that are ultimately going to be required to take you forward, and be really, really clear about what it is expressly that you want as an outcome from that engagement. So I think all too often I see medium-sized organizations bringing in external advisors and teams when it's really not necessary, and it becomes a big distraction. And when they do that, I see the timeline to closure extending out. Ultimately, if you're the founder of a startup or a scale-up and you're looking to acquire another organization, it's about two people initially that share a common view of the world that they want to inhabit. The more work you can do together, and you'll be surprised, legally, you can achieve an awful lot down the due diligence road without engaging legal services, without engaging financial accountants, etc. If you're acquiring, you ought to be able to understand and interpret the due diligence to a level that it makes some sense for the deal, at least to proceed, and then you bring the experts in to make sure that the valuation that you're going to put on your heads of terms, etc., and your letter of intent, that these things actually stack up, and then you move through the final stages of due diligence. There's probably more that we could get into, but I think that gives you a real flavour. You can remove years of pain and challenge if your view is that you want to exit your organisation by taking the inorganic route. It's certainly a big passion of mine. Right now, there are a lot of organisations with motivated sellers and founders that are looking for a route out, sometimes not always to leave the business, but just no longer to be in charge of the business. So I would encourage those organisations that are thinking about how they're going to achieve 2024's growth and explore the potential for an additional acquisition into their strategy.